Barcelona once again looks lost. Same faces, same promises, but somehow it's not clicking. A defeat to PSG in the Champions League, a collapse against Sevilla. And for the first time, fans are starting to ask, Flick, do you actually know what you're doing? But here's the twist, maybe he does, because this isn't just another reaction after a loss. Flick's plan might be bigger than that. He's trying to change the very idea of what Barcelona is. And the most fascinating part, the key to that reboot might be a player England once called broken, Marcus Rashford. So today we'll talk about how Hansi Flick plans to rebuild this team, what his new idea really is, how it could take Barca to the next level, and maybe how it could bring back the trophies. Before we start, I would really appreciate it if you could like this video. That helps a lot. Thank you. It means the world to me and my team that you're here with us. Now let's get into it. It might sound crazy, an Englishman at the heart of Barca's rebuild. Not long ago, Marcus Rashford was an outcast at Manchester United. But now in the autumn of 2025, as Hansi Flick looks for a way to bring Barcelona back to life, Rashford might actually be a part of that answer. Flick didn't arrive as just another German coach with a high-line system. He came as someone who's seen how great teams fall apart. He saw it at Bayern, a team that looked unbeatable until the structure behind it finally broke. And now he recognizes some of the same symptoms in Barcelona. A brilliant academy, young talents, the signature style, but the vertical power that made this team great last season has disappeared. And that's where Rashford comes in. To understand why Flick is trying this experiment, first you need to see what's broken in today's Barca. And it's simple. I saw some of you pointing it out in the comments too. The thing is, the team doesn't produce the same work rate as last year. And when that drops, everything else suffers. The high line, the transitions, the vertical speed. Now opponents punish Barca with fast counterattacks, not the other way around. With the ball, too many passes. Without it, too little movement. Even Lewandowski's role has shifted. He's no longer the force that pins defenses back, but rather a reference point. Barca is stuck between possession and verticality, and Flick has decided it's time to stop waiting and make a clear choice. The season is entering a key phase. No international breaks until spring, just pure club football. Now is the time to rediscover identity or risk a collapse that could even cost Flick his job. Instead of a classic number 9, Rashford, a player who can change a match with one burst of acceleration. It's a simple but bold idea. Flick wants Barcelona to be a team that bites again, not one that just keeps possession, but one that makes opponents panic with its pace and intensity. And no, he has not given up on the high defensive line, quite the opposite. According to reports after the Sevilla defeat, Flick called a meeting with his fitness staff to talk about one big issue: intensity. He's worried about the team's physical levels. Internal data shows they're behind where they should be at this point in the season. Pedri was mentioned among those still far from his peak training rhythm, and he's not the only one. The whole team isn't running as it used to, and when the legs go, the system breaks. To sustain a high line and keep the opponent pinned back, you can't give them a single extra second on the ball. It has to be total rock and roll football. As Inigo once said, after some matches he couldn't even sleep because for 90 minutes he had to command the offside trap and play on pure adrenaline. That's the energy Flick wants back, the thrill of pressing, the joy of suffocating the opponent. Rashford is not Lewandowski. He doesn't wait for the ball, he creates space. Yes, Barcelona have still Ferran, who offers something similar, but Torres isn't nearly as versatile. And both he and Lewandowski struggle with finishing. Their conversion rates are far below Europe's top forwards this season. Barca needs a modern number 9, one who provides space, pressing, and technical intelligence. That's what's been missing since Luis Suarez at his best form. Rashford isn't Luis, but he offers too much to be ignored. His movement in the center opens up new dynamics for Barca's front line. Yamal on the right, Rafinha on the left, and behind them the engine, who speeds everything up, Fermín López. That's Flick's blueprint right now. This quartet can create organized chaos in attack and coordinated pressing at high speed. Just picture it. Rashford dragging 2 central defenders, Rafinha attacking the half space, Yamal slicing through the right channel, and Bolde overlapping on the left, Fermín bursting into the box from deep. This is no longer the passive Barca with 100 passes. This is Barca generating chaos, speed, and pressure. It's exactly what happened early in the season when Rafinha was the destabilizing joker, tearing open defenses. Now Flick wants Rashford to become that joker, an unpredictable threat the La Liga defenders simply don't know how to stop. Because the problem right now isn't just tactics or the high line, it's that Barca has stopped doing what once made them terrifying: pressing, running, hunting for every ball. The stats back it up. The team doesn't close down enough, doesn't sprint enough, doesn't press enough. For Flick, that's unacceptable. Against PSG, Barça covered almost 118 kilometers, which is a solid number, but by the end of the match, the team just stopped. Something in the fitness plan was off, because in the final 20 minutes, Luis Enrique's side had 64% possession and completely dominated midfield. Physically, they were simply stronger. Last season, Barça allowed opponents just 7.7 passes per defensive action, the second best number in La Liga. They were also second in challenge intensity, the rate at which they attempted to disrupt opponents' possession. Inside the dressing room, players now identify the lack of pressing as the main cause of the PSG and Sevilla failures. Pedri himself said, "Without intensity, you can't hold a high line." And that's what Flick wants to fix, with Rashford and with a more flexible pressing structure. At Bayern, Flick built a machine that could physically overpower anyone. He knows that when a team loses its dynamism, it loses the midfield, and when you lose the midfield, you lose control of everything. That's why he's rebuilding around a 2+1 midfield shape. 2 deeper players, Frenkie and Pedri, for stability and coverage, and 1 advanced player, Fermín López, for aggression and forward runs. Flick doesn't just see Fermín as a promising youngster, he sees him as a rhythm breaker, because when you have Rashford ahead of you, you need someone who attacks the chaos. And that's exactly what Fermín does. He shoots without hesitation, plays in one touch, and constantly drives into space. That's why Barça looks alive again when he's on the pitch. Flick wants his team to press as one unit, Yamal and Rafinha locking the flanks, Rashford pressing through the center, and Fermín being the first to explode after every turnover. That's what Barça lost at the end of last season, not only with Inigo's departure, but in spirit. Now it all starts again, from the striker and the attacking midfielder. This is a new chapter where Flick is pushing his players to their limits, trying to rebuild something fresh on old foundations. Lewandowski will become more of a joker, the same goes for Varane, both important for keeping the tempo throughout matches. And Dani Olmo, well, he needs to get angry again, find that spark he had last season when he was flying across the pitch. Everything Flick is doing now is about restoring Barca's character, not just its style or formation, but the fear it once inspired. Because this club has always been at its best when it played with conviction, when everyone ran, everyone pressed, and everyone believed. That's what Flick is fighting to bring back. Yes, the road will be tough, but if this plan works, it will be a different team. Flick just needs to find the balance between tempo and control, and the players need to start moving again as one. And maybe, just maybe, you'll look back on October 2025 as the moment things started to change. Not because of a new signing, not because of a headline or a speech, but because of an idea that Barca must fight again and kill games high up the pitch. And if you want to dive deeper to see how Flick's rebuild really works, who runs the most, who presses the hardest, and how the numbers prove it, check out Football Extra. You will find all the advanced Barca stats there: PPDA, pressing data, distance covered, attacking patterns, even player heat maps. The link's in the pinned comment. And that's it for today. Support our work with a like, drop your comment, and make sure you're subscribed. Thank you. Bye.